Welcome to Detecting Intelligence, the only show that treats AI like a crime scene. We bag the evidence, dust the hype for fingerprints, and interrogate the breakthroughs. Then we ask the only question that matters. Are we closer to AGI? Let's find out. Here are your hosts, Frank and Ronnie.
GM, hello. Frank, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Ronnie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us. If you're tuning in, this is welcome to Detecting Intelligence. I'm your host, Ronnie, and I'm joined by my other host, aka co-host, Mr. Frank Zuring. Wow, it is Tuesday, March 3rd. How's the weather by you?
Things are looking nice here today, actually. Sunny, a little bit cool, but manageable. How about down there in New York City?
It's a little gloomy. We got snow the other day, and I think we're getting some more rain today, so that should help wash some of that stuff away. But yeah, no, it's a gray Tuesday over here in NYC. But enough about the weather. So Frank, you and I haven't gone live since last Friday, and even after, because you and I we record these in the morning. I think, this is funny because that day, there are a couple of major news or newsworthy events occurred, and because so much has happened over the weekend, I forgot what that was.
Yeah,
I was thinking, it's like, oh man, I'm not going to talk until Monday, and I'm like, and this just dropped today, and we just recorded earlier. Like, damn, and now I forgot what that thing was.
And I think that's the big reason why we're doing these shows daily, if we can. You know, it's just the news in the space is like coming at you so quickly every day that it's hard to stay on top of it. So, you know, I really enjoy us having conversations on a daily basis and being able to kind of dig into these. But it goes to show, if we drop even for a few days, you know, there's so much news coming that we can miss things. So daily's got to be the key.
Yeah. Eventually we'll create graphics that put tinfoil hats over our heads, dude. But just pretend we're wearing one, or at least I'm wearing one. Dude, do you think that's part of the whole psyop thing? Is just this transition to the 24-hour news cycle, just to throw anything and everything at them, and they won't be able to remember any of it.
I mean, it certainly feels that way sometimes, just trying to stay up on all of the things that are happening in the world these days.
Yeah.
Not to mention outside of AI as well, too. It's just, it's really like everything's fighting for the attention.
Yeah, so like Frank said, we're part of the point of us doing this daily is because there is just so much to talk about, and Frank and I just kind of want to narrow this stuff down to the things that we find most important, and hopefully you'll find most important and useful and valuable. So and we hope to get better and better at it every day, and we can only do that with your help. So please please join the convo, comment, let us know what we should be talking about. Let us know any questions that you guys might have that you want Frank and I's input on. And because we want you guys to be as much a part of the conversation as possible. So should we jump into it, Frank, you want to share something before we jump into it?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'd like to preface too that this last couple of weeks has really been, the start of this new venture here with Detecting Intelligence and doing our daily show.
We're going to get makeup and everything.
Yeah, that's it. We're working through some bugs, but I think the official kickoff, maybe if we can, at the very latest, plan to have everything kind of fully live by like the 22nd of March. I think that's kind of what we're targeting right now. We still got a website that we're putting together. We've got a really good newsletter, and also a pre-show podcast that AI is producing to be a resource for those that maybe can't jump on the live stream but want to stay up to date on what we're talking about. So lots of cool things in development. Some little things I'll share here now, because I know this is probably the best time to talk about kind of some things that are coming. But we've also recently launched a side venture with the man Zeneca and another fellow named A Fox, which is going to spill into this a little bit as well too. So lots of exciting things coming. So stay tuned. I think those that are maybe watching this video back, maybe in the future right now, you can see this is still very much early days, but yeah, we're targeting that kind of last week of March to be fully live and have some exciting announcements to share along with it.
Thank you for sharing that, Frank. Yeah, and thank you for dropping that news today. It wasn't that caught me off guard. So that's awesome to hear. I mean, of course, I knew for a little bit now, but haven't made it public just yet. And you just did that, so that's awesome.
I can't say what it is,
right,
but
right.
there is something.
Yeah, but no, just Arthur Fox and Zeneca being involved should definitely pique yours and everyone's interest that's interested in this technology. There's a lot of cool things planned. But anyways, that's kind of a good segue into what I want to get into first. And that's part of the reason why our site isn't finished and the newsletter hasn't gone out yet, is because Claude's been down. So let's add this up to the stage here, and so Claude is down. This is I'm not even following this person, but Yashas Edu posted on X. So Claude is down again with elevated errors, and this is the second outage in less than 24 hours. Not sure how he knows this part. The reason is explosive user growth. Well, I guess there's a graph below. After topping the App Store charts, has pushed Anthropic's infrastructure to its limits. Official status still shows investigating with no fix yet. So that's the weird part. Because prior to this, Anthropic has gone down a few times, and we also know this coincides with a little spat that Anthropic and its CEO is having. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. I mean, I'm picturing his face right now. What's his name, Frank? Do you know?
It's escaped me.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
it's probably not great for his marketing.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's just not very. Yeah. Anyway,
that he. So it's Dario is his first name.
Yes.
Amodi is his last name.
Yes.
So Dario
Anthropic CEO.
Yeah, and he actually came from OpenAI, which was interesting, and he left due to privacy concerns with OpenAI.
No, he and Sam have some history, and they also have some awkward history. If you've seen those two standing next to each other lately. But anyways, so these outages happen to coincide with a little spat that Anthropic is having with the Department of War in the United States. Not saying any of those two things are connected. But it's just interesting timing. What do you think, Frank?
I mean, so I just put in the chat direct link to
yeah.
What's that? Sorry,
be the sane one.
But so I find like this last 24 hours, especially for me, has been like insane in regards to like trying to be productive. I've built a whole system around Anthropic's model. So now that this has been down for over 24 hours, and it's had a couple of little moments where it's come live, but it's still down as of this morning and the time of this recording. But it has handicapped my business, and it just blows me away again, just how much this can affect people. Now, I think if anything, we were talking just before the show, it's actually maybe a blessing in disguise, because now I have a feeling for what happens when you have when you lose access to your tool. So, I'm already exploring other options where I can switch models for my setup that I have through Open Router. And I think that will be a good solution. So it's forcing me to kind of build that solution now, which, really should help future-proof the business anyway.
Yeah, and this person agrees. The person that posted this, I mean, you and I talked about this last night, and I said, I'm like, all right, dude. Well, I guess we got to go back to basics. When at the beginning of all this stuff, like you had your system backed up, and then you had a backup of your backup, but the redundant backup was also supposed to be not on location. It was supposed to be in a different location in case there was a fire, a natural disaster. You still had a backup somewhere else. So I don't even know. That has to, you might even have to take that aspect of it into consideration. But anyways, that's what the rest of this post even reads also, that, if you put all your eggs into one basket, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think, especially for those of us that are running like OpenClaw and using Opus 4.6 as the model that we've chosen to run this, which that seems to be the model that's having issues right now. It's really evident just how having all your eggs in one basket, as you said, is not the greatest.
Yeah. Yep. And so I haven't gotten as far as you have into OpenClaw, but I am going to a ClawCon in New York City tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's tomorrow evening, so very much looking forward to that. I don't even know. I have to get there early too because it's first come, first serve, and once they're at capacity, they're closing the line. And I heard of one. There was a ClawCon in San Francisco that Alex Finn couldn't even get into because it was a madhouse. So yeah, so I'm going to take that context and apply it to my commute when I get there on my way there tomorrow. So looking forward to that. There's going to be a bunch of demos, people just showing off their stuff and shooting the crap. So looking forward to that. But yeah, no, I haven't gotten too deep into building a full system, a build out yet in OpenClaw like you have. But now I'm definitely, when I do attempt it, I have to take the backup part into consideration here, and not rely on one system. I guess maybe you can share. We should share some whatever information we have that we can find on how to do that.
Yeah, I think the key really is using OpenRouter, because OpenRouter, you have one API key that can access all of the top models. And
Nice.
The one thing that they promote on OpenRouter's website is because of the volume they're also doing through OpenRouter, they qualify for better API costs. And I think you have access to over 200 models that you can tap in between. So so what I'm going to be doing is setting up just some back-end infrastructure that there's a local model running that, if everything goes down, I have at least the ability to still converse with the system, even though, the output might not be as high quality as what you would get currently, but it has then the ability to switch to a better model. So it's more of a fail-safe in that regard. But that's essentially the infrastructure I'm going to put in place here for mine.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, that's also a half decent segue into the next thing I want to bring up. Let's put this up on stage here. Is this good? No, I like this better.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Where's this?
New models.
New models. I just want to see what way it brings up. All right, never mind. I think this is the best. This is the best way. Speaking of models, we might be getting ChatGPT 5.4 today. And what we know about it so far, based on this post from Crypto, what is it? CryptoPunk 7213. Okay, but he's not using his CryptoPunk as his PFP. Kudos, props to that guy, because God knows
maybe he sold it at the top.
maybe maybe he sold it. Anyway, but so far, just based on this post, it apparently might have a 2 million token context token window.
Crazy.
It might come loaded with a persistent state, which essentially apparently remembers literally everything about you, even across apps. You'll never have to remind ChatGPT about you again. Wow. That's isn't that Black Mirror episode number 1? Let's see, SRAM, whatever that is, lightning fast inference. Okay, that's whatever inference is. I want it in a lightning fast manner, that's for sure. What are the other stuff? The other things here. All this stuff's going over my head. Optical connects, replacing electric wires with literal lasers to beam data faster with less energy. Okay, sure. Praying this is real. You and I both. Frank, what are your so I know I told you about this just a few moments ago. What do you think? Wow.
It doesn't surprise me. I think OpenAI always seems to have something ready in the coffers to kind of put out there when there's a bit of a blip going on in the news. I think this would be a very smart move on their part after acquiring the founder of OpenClaw, and then now Anthropic, struggling with these server issues, to have a better model come out. You see this message a lot, though, lately on these platforms, where you now are getting better memory capabilities, better functionality. Like I know with Perplexity Computer last week, that was one of their big things, is you could essentially set up tasks and automation, which really, at the end of the day, it's all what OpenClaw sold everybody on when they released was that you had better memory and you had this capability of running tasks a little bit more efficiently. But so, I think in my opinion, all this is great, and I'm looking forward to playing with it. I'm still a believer in you want to build on your own system instead of building on these platforms. And I think today's situation we're in with Claude is another perfect example of why you want to do that. Because if you have all of your eggs in one basket with OpenAI, then you're susceptible to the same challenges that we're experiencing today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to still build on OpenClaw, and I'm going to point my model to use this model when it comes out and see, truly what the capabilities are. But excited to do it, and I think it's only going to get better. So it's really interesting to see some new stuff coming out.
Yeah, I do agree. For the enthusiasts like you and I and a lot of people, yeah, I mean, we are going to, want to max out, the capabilities, our system's capabilities. But for stuff like this, for that the average user, the average person is going to be able to get access to, I think is really, I think is really great. And just the people that aren't even aware of what's capable with this, with this little app that they have on their smartphone. So them soon, and it's a lot of people. I think OpenAI ChatGPT still has a pretty significant market share, I believe, user base. So so for the average Joe and Jane to have access to a model like this is it's going to open up a lot of things and just give a lot of people ideas to build, create stuff, just communicate with, and take care of themselves, better with as a health tool, health app. But yeah, no, great stuff. Okay, well, we'll see if we get that today. And I hope, I mean, it's just 5.4, something like this. I think they usually everybody gets access to. So yeah, I don't think it's going to necessarily just be the pro user. So hopefully if this does drop today, we all get it. All right, what's the I did have the next story. Let me take this one down. Oh yeah, and this one is from your neck of the woods. Frank's like, what are you talking about? Let's have this to stage. It's a Canadian X account, but it's talking about the U.S. economy, I guess. But all right, here's the title for those that are listening. It's UBI Works. It's looks like they have the Canadian flag, so it's a Canadian account. I'm assuming safe to say.
Is that all it needs to be a Canadian account?
That's
just
it.
A Canadian flag emoji?
And it's not even, and it's not even stereotyping because all right, so
it's profiling, Ronnie.
Profiling. Yeah, I keep saying that. If AI makes human labor obsolete, who decides who gets to eat? So it looks like this is a story by Eduardo Porter. The subtext here: amid talk of artificial intelligence taking our jobs, the big unasked question is, how will we be fed?
Depends on what that is that you want to be fed. If we're in the Matrix and we've just got that feeding tube, then we're all.
Are you? Yeah. Well, I guess the question is, in what manner do you want to be fed? But yes. But let's assume it's just general overall mildly healthy sustenance. But this is a big question. This is something, and I don't think it's a real question. I don't think any human. We already have problems with feeding humans. I don't necessarily think this is going to create a bigger issue of that situation. I think it's going to help us streamline and hopefully soon eradicate hunger in this country. Hopefully soon, maybe even within like the next 5 years. This is why it annoys me that we're talking about building data centers to rotate around over our heads. And we can't, and we still haven't figured out how to feed humans on the rock we're standing on. But anyways, but I think, look, I mean, you're telling me that if Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Mark Zuckerberg decided let's eradicate world hunger, that the three of them couldn't do it in 5 years, they can probably do it in 12 months.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think this is a real question, but I think this is just part of a bigger question as to what the hell are we going to do with ourselves when this thing starts taking a lot of other things from our daily lives away.
Yeah,
Stuff
it's a
that
good
we've been
question.
accustomed to doing and used to, and things that just bring normality to this experience. What happens when a lot of those things go away?
So yeah, I'm on the fence about which road we're headed on here. I think as a species, we're still always going to want to have human interaction, right? Like I think, yeah, these tools are great, and a lot of people are even using AI for therapeutic purposes these days. But still, as a species, we need that human connection, and I don't think that's going to change. So, looking at what does the world look like once AI is doing all of the online work or mundane tasks for us, even when there's robots with intelligence running around, I think there's still always going to be a need for professions where humans are interacting with each other, like schools and nursing and all these types of things. They're just going to be different. If we look at back when the automobile was created and the infrastructure that existed at that time with like these stables and these like street sweepers and carriage makers, that was a whole industry that overnight disappeared because of the automobile. And I don't think we've seen any long-lasting repercussions from that. So I get that AI is, not just confined to one industry, like that example being transportation. But I think it's going to we're going to evolve into a different way of doing things. I do believe though that, and I'm already seeing this with people that, I interact with online, that there's going to be a greater divide created depending on what models you can afford to access. So if you aren't able to,
class warfare.
I mean, that's already happening, right? Like I know just in helping people set up AI that, there's the premium that you can run at, a few $100s a month, or there's the basic you can run at, $20 a month, but the capabilities are limited, so I think that's going to be where we see things change the most here in the near future is a divide between the intelligence you can afford to have.
So this is going for may the best man win to he who can afford the most compute wins.
Yeah, and on that subject, I think we should talk a little bit about what we were talking about earlier before the show, and that's these Chinese models that you see coming out all the time. Like I know on X yesterday, this model that they released, and maybe you can bring it up while we're just talking about it.
I can try.
Has like super processing capabilities, and everyone's saying, "Hey, like it's so cheap! Like this is super intelligence for pennies. You should install it, and you can run it locally on a basic machine." And realizing that we're public here, and maybe I'm going to get sniped for this, but I just don't trust anything that's coming out of the Chinese area. I love the Chinese people. I just want to be very clear about that. But, I think we've seen, especially with some interactions that the Canadian government has even had with China in regards to like mobile phones and Huawei and cutting that technology out of our country completely. There's real concerns just about the leakage and what is getting out of the system. And I've had this debate with a few others, and I've heard people say, well, it runs locally, so if you don't give it access to the internet, then it can't do anything. And if you do give it access to the internet, then you can continue to monitor it through a firewall for leakage. I'm like, yeah, but I think these models, if there is something malicious in there, it's not going to just like start sending stuff right off the bat. Like,
also, have we heard anything yet? Has anybody? Because I haven't heard anybody say, "Hey, found this malicious code in here," or this, this completely wiped my system, or emptied my bank account. It's you're not wrong though. It's still a very valid concern, but I haven't heard any explosive news or anything like that that's halted anybody from downloading and using this model.
No, and I guess it all depends on the application too, right? Because in the businesses that I speak to that are interested in having their data processed through some of these models, they flat out refuse to even look at something like that, which I completely agree. And I don't think, here's my belief, and this is just my opinion, not based off of any
Sure.
refining of the code or looking at the code, because that's also one of my reasons to not touch it, is because I don't understand code, especially in this industry, well enough to be able to have complete confidence that there's nothing there. But my belief is that, obviously it's not going to turn on a signal and start reporting back immediately the time that it has internet. But I would imagine that there would be some kind of clicker in there that the moment it gets access to the internet, maybe 30 days, 60 days, a year after it's been used, that it will then send a call back. And that's the concern I have, is that the longevity of being able to use these models securely. And unfortunately, I just, with it being so cheap, it also makes me question, well, it's the classic question, statement, right?
And good on you for bringing it up, because this is an interesting variable for exactly what we were just talking about before, like he who can afford the most compute wins. Well, this right here kind of somewhat attempts to level the playing field a little bit. And we'll just see how it we'll see it. I mean, this is only just going to get better and potentially even cheaper. So it might put Frank in a pickle where maybe Frank has no choice but has to consider actually using this model. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Because I'm almost,
I'm gonna plant the flag at the risk of my reputation right now and say I will not ever use a Chinese model.
There we go.
That's the flag.
You heard it here first, folks. And there's 3 people watching right now, Frank.
And that is my strong opinion. But I will not hold it against anyone who chooses to use one themselves.
Same. All right, let's get all right, we're running close to time here, so we got one more story to get into, and it's open claw all the time. What happened here? Oh, yes. Did you see this yet, Frank?
Not sure. I don't see anything yet.
Oh, it's because it's not on stage, man. All right, there it is.
There it is.
All right, for those listening, post from crypto.com. OpenClaw API integration is live in the crypto.com app. You can now generate an API key using the agent key feature and deploy your AI trading agent. Set a budget, control your agent's weekly trading limit, secure access, choose exactly what the AI sees and does, total control, approve every trade via chat or stop them all instantly. Learn more at crypto.com. Blah, 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 blah. Did you see this?
I have not. This is the first time seeing it. This is fantastic news, though. The fact that a big company is putting a message out about OpenClaw. Well, didn't the founder of crypto.com just buy AI.com for like a ridiculous amount of money?
Oh, is that who bought it? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It just went for millions. I forgot who bought it. You might be right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow, and what a move!
Insane.
How come Elon didn't, or somebody else buying that? Because it was for them, that was pocket change.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a substantial amount. What is it here? 70 million is what they bought.
I'm saying, I'm referring specific people as to who it would be pocket change for.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at like crypto,
it's still a lot of money, but
yeah. When you look at crypto.com, though, obviously they're doing quite well, and it's a big power play. It's
OpenClaw has arrived. And not just with this; it arrived like a month ago. But wow! But look, this is. I imagine there might be quite some chatter about this tomorrow at the ClawCon here in New York City. What I was wondering about before is that other than OpenAI, pretty much hiring Peter Steinberg, right, or is it Steinberger?
I'm gonna go Steinberger.
I'm gonna go Steinberger. Since his hiring, they haven't. I thought they would have been quick to implement some OpenClaw in a ChatGPT, and they haven't yet. And I'm like, I wonder if maybe, because this stuff is complicated. I'm sure because OpenClaw is capable of so much, and he probably has some ideas or new ideas that haven't even that might have been on the back burner that he might be want to try out now with ChatGPT. But I also wonder if maybe they're developing a standalone app.
Well, that was the main reason OpenAI said they hired Peter was to build an agentic system through OpenAI.
Okay.
So I know
I just
that
wonder
is
if it's
their
a complete
plan.
separate app, but well, you know what? This is probably what it's going to have to be anyway, even though if
Yeah.
it's not in the form of a mobile app.
You know, I'm super happy for Peter. I think like what a crazy story to kind of retire from coding, come back, build OpenClaw, get all this huge attention, and then get bought by OpenAI. I just, I'm watching very closely that OpenClaw stays a foundation because I think that's going to be huge for the space, and just love seeing more people talking about plugging into OpenClaw because I really do think this is where there's a bit of a shift in power where if we're building on OpenClaw, which again, we say OpenClaw, but really it's open source. That's the game changer for everybody.
Yeah.
There it is. Done. What does that mean? We got 5 minutes left, I think.
Well, I think it's about time to wrap this up shortly because I don't think I have anything else in the hopper to chat about.
No.
Let me just double check here.
We covered a lot of ground today.
Oh, well, all right. The one thing, or there's one thing left, and maybe, I don't know if you want to save it for tomorrow, but the Telegram bit that they can now stream responses to users in real time.
Yeah, that's interesting. Why don't you throw that up on the screen here?
All right, I'll throw it up. It is interesting for sure. That's just vaping music. Vamping music. Vaping music is different. Sounds different. All right, here we go. Are we sharing? Not yet. All right, there it is. All Telegram chatbots can now stream responses to users in real time. Great for AI assistance. So yeah, Frank, that's I like the sound of that.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. And I know, like I use Telegram currently for communicating with my bot. Yeah. I love the little animated lobster there that's walking across the screen. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, like with this, how so what is the functionality here? Because all Telegram chatbots can now stream responses to users in real time, and great for AI assistants. So what would I wonder what would be a use case application here that's different than using Telegram to interact with your OpenClaw?
You know what? I think health is the first one that comes to mind. Mm-hmm. I think health, people that are, just want to get nutrition information really quick, or, people that have diets planned out or exercises. I think, that was the first thing that came to mind. If you were like a fitness instructor or something like that, you can just pretty much build this out and have your clients, supply it, train it however you want, and then just have all your clients use it for your basically your expertise, and you don't even have to lift a finger or spend any time other than the setup.
Yeah, definitely super interesting. I think it's a good move on Telegram's part because I'm sure they're getting a lot of adoption, just like Apple is seeing a ton of Mac Mini sales, just like Anthropic is seeing a ton of Mac subscriptions. I think this whole OpenClaw movement is bringing a lot of attention to a lot of these platforms, and Telegram is a native connection when you install it. So it makes a lot of sense that they want to jump on it.
And the other applications like news, financial as well. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there's really no limit. It's use it however you like. And but yeah, responses in real time. I like that. I like that move. And I also like the nice touch there with the with the lobster.
The thing that I kind of keep coming back to, which is interesting, that you're seeing so much of this news come out now, is that I think there's a real fear in tech that now with open source AI, people no longer need some of these platforms, right? And we're seeing a ton of platforms that are having real challenges. I know even just myself for my own business, I've canceled probably about 4 subscriptions that amount to about $500 a month in savings. Mm-hmm. If we look at Telegram, it's been great to get things set up. But even with my OpenClaw, I'm working on a custom solution right now to interact with OpenClaw that is my own app as opposed to Telegram. So, I think it's a real thing that a lot of these companies are looking at. Okay, like how can we stop the bleed, I would imagine, and prevent people from wanting to go other places. I think there's always going to be a market, for these platforms, because they offer a sense of ease in getting into technology. But as that comfort level increases with the users and they can see, what it's capable of, I think that's going to be probably one of the first industries that goes, is now that, these tools are great at coding, we really don't need these glorified wrappers anymore. We really just all need API access to things to build our own tools.
And what's funny, an interesting tidbit of information that I caught earlier. I was listening, watching on YouTube, Peter Diamandis. He has that. I think that's the name of his channel too. But they were just talking. The title here is "Anthropic outpaces OpenAI revenue." Came out.
Oh yeah.
Something. But they were talking. One of the gentlemen. So what is it? Dr. Alexander Gross, and he was talking about how apparently most of the people using AI really don't care for the reasoning aspect of it, the reasoning tokens. So I guess people just don't seem to be super curious about things, and that they're just okay with overall general use, I guess more or less the same way that they were using Google, but now they're just getting the information back with a little personality, and that personality tends to blow smoke up your ass.
Well, we're lazy creatures, right? Like like when you look at everything, it's like there's that saying, the path of least resistance is what's going to win, right? And
yeah,
dude, like I don't even bother really searching on Google that much anymore myself. If I need to find something, I just ask AI to give me some things to look at. And then I'm, based off its recommendations, I review them and come to my own conclusion. And then even when I come to a conclusion, I'm conversing with AI to make sure that it is the correct, conclusion based off of its opinion. So yeah, like this whole dynamic is changing. When it comes to learning and education, our attention spans are already like terrible, and we can thank TikTok and short form video and all these different pieces of content that we've been consuming for years. I believe in shortening that attention span. So, I mean, looking at how I've been down for 24 hours with Claude, and I feel like I'm just not capable. It's kind of a scary future that, if you are accessing the best model in the future, and then you get cut off and you just don't have the ability to do things anymore because you haven't invested in yourself to have an understanding foundationally, personally. I don't know. It's definitely made me reflect on a lot of things here over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, well, this is a life lesson that we're witnessing Frank experience in real time, folks. So so we'll see how he adapts and reacts to it.
The hairline might go a little further up here. Yeah.
But I have faith in Frank, folks. Trust me, I have all the faith in the world. He'll figure this out. He already shared some information on how he might set up a system now via Open Router, and maybe he can maybe Frank will share some more information about that as to how he gets that done after he gets it done. Yeah. But you're getting 2 gongs today, folks.
Well, I think that's a show, Ronnie. I think that was a really good chat today.
That was a show, and let's not ever do three gongs unless it's an emergency. So 2 gongs at most, but 1 gong. That's a wrap. But that's a show, Frank. That's a show. But we'll be back tomorrow. Yep. We might. Well, it just all depends. Yeah, we're kind of hobbled right now until Anthropic figures itself out. So stay tuned. Got lots of things planned, lots of things dropping. But yeah, our hands are tied at the moment. But I guess we'll leave it at there. And Frank, what are you closing words here?
Yeah, no, I think hopefully Claude will be back, and then I can put the system in place to prevent future downs. But
you and I will be back tomorrow.
Yes. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk about where we're at. And we might be coming to Twitch too. Maybe we should announce that Twitch might be a new thing. So
we'll work on that. Thank you to the folks who are viewing us right now. But yeah, we also might be available on Twitch. But thanks for watching, and we're out of here.
Today's evidence is logged. The timeline has been updated, and the future remains under investigation. If you found this useful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next analysis. You can also drop your questions in the comments. We read them, we use them, we investigate them. And for deeper dives, join the newsletter at detectingintelligence.com. Thanks for watching. See you next time, friend.